my daughter doesn't deserve a bare minimum. My daughter deserves things that she should have, that as both parents were involved in her life. And I know Mrs. Wilhelm, Caitlin, is fully capable and body able to work more and earn more than she makes.
This is Assistant Attorney General Mazzie for the state of Texas. I'd like to go into my opening statement. So at this time, I'd like to present the state's Exhibit 1. It's the investigative report in this matter.
I'm pulling that up. Investigation report signed on September 11th, 2025 by your child support officer, Laura Diaz. Okay, I'll take
Yes, Your Honor.
notice of that. What do you want me to?
Yes, Your Honor. Our investigation suggests that Ms. Wilhelm's wages are $1,810.67 per month before taxes. Based on that and the fact that she has one other child, I've calculated the guideline child support at $274.11 per month to be paid beginning October 1st, 2025. Now, Mr. Wilhelm, he's requesting an upwards deviation, Your Honor. He's requesting the child support be set to $688 per month, and he'll provide more testimony as to why. But of that, $238 of that amount has been earmarked for childcare that he's paying for, and that he'd like to see reflected in the court-ordered child support. On the medical, Your Honor, we're in agreement to have the government medical assistance continue via through CHIP. State's requesting reimbursement from Ms. Wilhelm for that in the amount of $81 per month, with payments to begin October 1st, 2025. That's based on 4.5% of what we believe to be her gross monthly resources. On the retroactive support, Your Honor, the state, Mr. Wilhelm will testify to the retroactive period, but we're seeking retroactive support for the period of time between June of 2023 to September
of the month again? I didn't hear it. The period of time, the month?
Yeah, it's June of 2023, Your Honor.
Thank you. I didn't hear June. June 20 of 23 to when? To present?
Yeah, June of 2023 to September of 2025.
September 11th, today, 2025, okay.
So I've calculated, based off of the minimum wage presumption, a guideline retroactive amount of $5,683.44 to be paid off at a rate of $80 per month. Mr. Wilhelm is requesting a upwards deviation. He's requesting a retroactive finding of $16,200. Of that, $3,600 represents child care costs he had to pay for his daughter in the past that he's requesting partial reimbursement for. He's requesting a total retro finding of $16,200 per month to be paid off at a rate of $134 per month. Finally, on the last two issues, Your Honor, on the non-disclosure, Mr. Wilhelm is requesting that his information be kept confidential in the court order. He'll provide more further testimony as to the reasons why. But essentially, there's been a history of harassment and threats from both Ms. Wilhelm and her relatives, and some very serious false allegations that she's made against him as well. Finally, Your Honor, on the subject of court costs, the state is requesting that Ms. Wilhelm pay the court costs for today's proceeding due on September 11th, 2026, 1 year from today.
Okay, and if I'm remembering correctly, and I'm looking at the docket, this is a U.S. citizen, so you're telling me Mr. Wilhelm lives in another state, but Ms. Wilhelm can be found here in Texas. Is that what I'm understanding?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and that means we don't have jurisdiction over the custody visitation portions of a suit affecting just the child support, the money part, because she lives.
That's correct.
Okay. In case Mr. Wilhelm hadn't heard that, or just to make me aware officially on the record. Okay.
So we found the service return and the notice of hearing, Your Honor. That's been pulled. That's being sent to you at the CSC 18 at Texas. I don't want to say that, but that's being sent to you at the court email.
No problem. I'll wait for it and I'll take a look at it when it comes in. And then besides the service return, y'all normally notice people for court, even if they appear or they don't appear. Did that happen here as well or not?
Yes, I can confirm we've sent out a notice of hearing as well.
Are you sending it or are you reading off of it?
Oh, those documents will be sent to you, Your Honor.
Oh.
We're just in the midst of retrieving them.
Okay, not a problem. Thank you. Okay. Are you ready for your witness, Mr. Asif?
Yes, Your Honor. I'd like to call Mr. Wilhelm.
Okay.
Good afternoon, Mr. Wilhelm. Could you please state your name for the court?
Daniel Lee Wilhelm III.
Please say the name of your daughter.
Sayla Wilhelm.
How old is she?
She's 6.
Who does the daughter live with?
Me, Daniel Wilhelm.
Who's the one making the day-to-day decisions regarding the child?
Father, Daniel Wilhelm.
How involved is Miss Wilhelm in the child's life?
Not at all.
When's the last communication you've had with her?
The last communication was September 10th of 2024 when I had to fly to Texas to get my daughter.
All right. Has she made any efforts to contact or visit or otherwise contribute since then?
Not at all. And she is able to, via our current court order, where she is able to fly into Pittsburgh for supervised visits or have daily phone call communication with my daughter, which she has not chose to pick up on at all since September of 2024.
Has she provided anything? Has she provided any
Nothing.
support whatsoever?
Nothing at all.
Thank you, sir. You pay for childcare, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
How much is that?
$110 per week.
Okay. Does Miss Wilhelm have any other children?
She has one other child.
Thank you, sir. Now, in my opening statement, did I misrepresent you at all or mischaracterize any of your positions?
No, I don't believe so, no.
Okay. So you are requesting $688 per month in child support, is that correct?
Yeah, which, like I said, I am gracious and willing to discuss and, work with that.
All right. Could you please explain to the court your reasons for this request?
My simple request is just, I feel based off of what mom's monthly wages, that there's no reason why, being a fully capable working body, that she cannot go out and make more to provide for our daughter as well as her own child, as I feel my daughter obviously deserves better than a bare minimum effort, as which has been showed by mom just based off of her efforts in reaching our daughter. But I just feel as if my daughter is worth more than the bare minimum of what it is set at. And like I said, I know the other party, Caitlin, is fully capable of working more and everything of that nature. I know that she does live at home with her parents, so she doesn't pay any rent or anything of that nature as well. She's pretty well off in that sense of not having any extra expenses or anything of that. And as well as, I know it doesn't matter, but I know because when she did move to Texas, which was in 2023, her child that she does have lived in Pennsylvania for a whole nother year till 2024 with her parents. And then now they all live together down in Texas, which her parents have been the primary caregiver for her child.
What's Miss Wilhelm's educational level?
She actually went to college and she has a degree in surgical technology.
Has she made more than our investigation suggests in the past?
As far as I know, when she worked in Pennsylvania, she did. Down in Texas, obviously, I don't have an exact number, but I was told during our child support hearings by Mrs. Wilhelm herself that she was working for a school down there and in childcare, and that's why she was more fit to have our daughter.
Do you have any other knowledge of what she makes or anything to suggest that?
I have no number amount, no.
Thank you, sir. Now, on the retroactive support request, sir, have you paid for childcare for your daughter in the past?
I have paid for my daughter for childcare since June of 2023 when Caitlin asked me to watch her daughter for a week while she went on a vacation to Jamaica. And after that, she never came home. She went straight to Texas.
Since June of 2023, the child has been living with you this whole time?
All but a month for the incidents that happened last year between August and September of 2024.
Could you please explain these incidents to the court?
Well, I was court ordered to send my daughter to Texas for mom to have parenting time. After my daughter was there for not even a week, which I was court ordered to be able to have daily communications with my daughter, which I took full advantage of trying to do, I was negated from doing. Mother did not allow me to have that, and here to come find out later when we had a court date, which was the day after my daughter was supposed to come home on August 20th, she accused me of sexual abusing my daughter, which got investigated by CYF in Texas and everything, which was did the little intake interview with my daughter and everything. And in that interview, my daughter obviously stated my dad never did any of this, and it was actually my brother who did this. Excuse me. So then I had to have a contempt hearing against mom to provide the documentation from CYF to prove everything she said was a lie and just to harm me and take me away from my daughter. And it was found, like I said, that her son was the one that abused my daughter, and I was ordered to be allowed to go down and get my daughter, which I did. And since then, my daughter has been with me, obviously back with me. But prior to that, my daughter was with me since June of 2023 till the end of July of 2024. And then she went down there for a month and was supposed to come home. And then those things transpired, and things had to happen. I had to get the Texas police involved to get my daughter back to me because mom wanted to bring my daughter back to me. She was calling me names and everything. Yeah.
From June of 2023 to now, how much have you been paying for childcare?
Whatever $110 a week is. So $440 a month times whatever it is since June of 2023.
Yeah. And to clarify, are you asking for reimbursement of the full amount or just a portion of it?
No, I'm not asking for the full. I just think it would be fair for half of whatever the weekly amount is that I pay, as I feel like mom should contribute to half of our daughter's expenses.
Thank you, sir. Now the retro amount you've requested in the amount of $16,200. Aside from the childcare, is there any other reason you're requesting the court deviate upwards on this amount?
The 16,200, that's including the child care and that amount of which I was asking for approximately of her base child support amount to be like 400, 450 a month.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Do you have any other reason for that you're requesting this from the court?
I pay for the healthcare obviously out of my own pocket. But like you said, that goes back to the government, but obviously I still have to pay a monthly like copay to that. My daughter attends speech therapy weekly, which I pay for as well, a copay on that, which is $10 a week, which adds up to be $300 a year. So that's $600 for the past 2 years. And then also I've had to have my daughter in therapy. She was in therapy for the things that transpired down there. I'm not equating just for the amount of that, but I'm just kind of putting that in with that amount for the things that my daughter had to deal with and everything. And like I said, I feel like my daughter is worthy and deserving of being more than just a bare minimum number or effort. And also my daughter's in activities. I pay $100 every season, so like spring, summer, fall, winter, for her to be in sports.
Thank you, sir. Now, aside from the false allegations you testified to, has Ms. Wilhelm engaged in any other incidents of threats, violence, harassment, or stalking towards you, sir?
There's been plenty of harassments and threats via her and her parents, just calling me all kind of things with false accusations and false pretenses behind it. Just in all to hurt me, to try to get a reaction out of me, which obviously never worked because I know them too well.
And how long has this harassment been going?
It hasn't happened since that whole thing transpired, but it was happening up until that, from probably we'll say August of 2023, multiple times throughout it up until the end of September of 2025. I mean September of 2024, sorry. I haven't heard from her. Like I said, I haven't heard from her or anybody in that family since I got my daughter from Texas a year ago to the date.
Have there been any incidents of threats, harassment, stalking, violence from Miss
Well,
Wilhelm
it was
towards her
just a
daughter?
simple thing when I went to towards my daughter.
Towards her daughter, yes.
The only violence, obviously, is just the whole sexual abuse thing that happened in Texas.
Sorry, sir, you were saying earlier?
What?
Uh, Never mind, withdrawn.
I
You
was
were
just saying
speaking
that
earlier. I
sexual.
just want to give
Go
you a
ahead.
chance to finish that thought.
I'm sorry, I just don't recall. I got
No
so many
problem.
things in my head that are some are worth saying, some are not. Oh, actually, no, I remember. I got to talk it through. I'm sorry. When I went to pick my daughter up from the airport in September of 2024, I was met at the airport. Instead of Caitlin bringing my daughter to me, she had her boyfriend or dad bring her to me, and I was threatened at the airport then. Just because of the whole pretense of Caitlin putting false things saying I abused my daughter. Her boyfriend was trying to get loud and physical with me, and I obviously wasn't having it because I had my daughter with me, and I told him to get away from me.
Okay, thank you, sir. Now,
But her mom has, I
how?
mean, just throughout, there's just been a history of being threatening to me and demeaning things to me and just saying anything to me, which is just uncalled for.
All right. So how is your daughter's medical care being taken care of at the moment?
I pay my daughter's medical care,
Through what
which is through
program?
CHIP. She has CHIP, but based off of my wage and everything, I have to pay a premium amount, I guess it is, which is $56.32 a month.
Thank you, sir. Is there anything else at all that you'd like the court to know?
It's just like I said before, I feel my daughter doesn't deserve a bare minimum. My daughter deserves things that she should have, that as both parents were involved in her life. Um, and I know Mrs. Wilhelm, Caitlin, is fully capable and body able to work more and earn more than she makes. And I feel like she should, in order to provide the necessities for my daughter, our daughter, I should say.
Thank you, Mr. Wilhelm. I have no further questions, Your Honor. I'll pass the witness.
Okay, I've been hearing these cases for a very long time, Mr. Wilhelm, and so I kind of keep the same, well, I apply the family code to the facts of each case, and of course, every case is different. But I keep in mind that I am under an obligation to apply our laws
Yeah.
to a set of facts.
Yeah.
Now, when you say she's deserving of more, I have no way of saying that's not true. However, I can't put a dollar amount on that because she's deserving of more. I've got to look at
Yeah.
the math, and now if you tell me she's underemployed, I've got to explore that. As she,
Well, I would
let's talk a
say if
little
you
bit
put
about
it
that.
that way, I'm sorry.
Hold on a minute. How old are you?
I am 34.
How old is she?
28, 29.
Okay, and were y'all like together at any point in
We
time?
were married.
Okay, so you got divorced?
We're still legally married. Yeah.
So what kind of order did you get in this other state that I kind of need to be aware of?
I sent that documentation over when I did everything, and it was sent to, it should have been transferred to you guys, but it's a court order by the court of what our child arrangement is. And pretty much it is, I have pretty much sole physical, not sole legal custody of our daughter, and then primary physical custody. And the only thing mom has is she would have to fly to Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh, to have a supervised visitation through a program, to have time with our daughter, and daily video or phone calls with our daughter.
How long ago was that order that you got?
January of this year.
January 2025. And then it only dealt with custody and visits. It did not deal with any of these financial issues you're talking about now?
No, because I was told that they are completely separate entities. And
Well,
the
when you
courts
get the
normally
case,
in a child support, I mean, not child custody, don't like hearing about that. That's why there's a whole different department for it.
well, since the facts of your case are that you're there and that's your home state and the child's home state, yes, they can do the custody and visits. Now, if she hadn't been there for a while or they didn't have any information on her, that's what allowed or authorized that government agency to send it to Texas for us to take it up. And I get that, but I just want to make sure that order that you say you have on this child has nothing with respect to the financial issues.
Yeah, no, there's nothing financially involved with it now.
Okay, so if you were married, how long did the marriage last? Like exactly how long were you together under the same?
From August of 2018 to July of 2022.
Is that when you separated?
Correct.
Okay.
And then we had we had a perfectly fine, cordial 50-50 agreement up until she left in June of 2023.
And tell me how old your daughter is again. I'm trying to remember and I don't.
She's 6.
She's 6, okay. So guess you separated when she was how old?
She would have been, well, we would have separated when she was about approximately around 3.
3. And had, I think you said Ms. Wilhelm had some educational background?
Yes.
More than a high school
Yeah,
diploma. She went to college?
She has a high school diploma, and then she went to not a community college, but one of those I can't think of it, like a career college, where you can go for like nursing or surgical tech or whatever, that type of stuff. But she graduated with a surgical tech degree.
So how long did it take her? It wasn't a 4-year traditional college, but
No, it might have been
year.
a 16 months. She did that before we got married.
Okay. As a surgical tech?
Yes.
Did she actually work as a surgical tech at any
She
point?
did at Allegheny General Hospital. She did.
And do you remember when that was, from when to when?
I honestly can't, Your Honor, but I do know during COVID she did do some traveling work with that degree.
And while you were married, she just did some of that work with that degree?
And actually, no, she didn't do that.
No, why not? Or
She just I don't know. I can't tell you. I don't know.
did she work at
She just
something else?
she just turned into a bare minimum person. Bare minimum effort, just working kind of basic jobs, simple jobs.
While you were still together?
Yeah.
And y'all never discussed it, or you didn't show?
Oh, well, we tried. I tried.
Okay.
I can't. That's part of the reason for the downfall. But eventually, I mean, after we split, towards the end of us splitting, she ended up working at a place called Holy Family Institute, where they work with like immigration children and everything like that, which she worked at full time.
And you don't know how much you made there?
I honestly don't, but I know it was definitely more than that $1,800 of what she makes now.
And you never saw her paychecks or her pay scale?
I mean, I'm
taxes
sorry, but that
together?
was just over. I mean, that was just over 3 years ago. I just don't. I've had a lot happen in those 3 years, Your Honor.
Well, I know, but she contributed to the household with expenses?
Not really. I kind of paid it all. Once again, to why we're not together. Unfortunately.
That, part of the reason y'all aren't together is something else?
I mean, there's other things, but that's a part of the reasons.
But again, you've never known her pay what rate scale?
I mean,
Daniel, y'all didn't file taxes together where you might?
we filed taxes together, but like it's been so long. I want to say she probably made like $19 to $20 an hour when she worked at the Holy Family. We both worked at a hardware store together for a little bit, and I know she probably made about $14-15 an hour there.
Okay, hold on a minute. I think I have to take care of some other business. Is there a gentleman in our waiting room that needs to come in on a case?
Yes.
If you want to take care of that, Ms. Del Carmen, you can.
Yes. And Mr. Jones, I'm going to go ahead and put you in your room.
Thank you, ma'am. I'm sorry, my other device died.
That's allowed.
Go ahead. Click the join button for me, please.
So the least you remember is about $14 to $15 at an hour at the hardware store, and the most was?
Well,
like
that was before, and then so the hardware store was before she worked at the Holy Family, which was probably about $19 an hour.
Okay. Mr. Asif, is there any way you can calculate the investigative report, what it would equal if it was full-time and at whatever rate it was, just so I would have a basis for comparison?
Beg your pardon, Your Honor, what precisely are you asking for?
Well, you have an investigation report that says what her net
Yes.
resources are. So I'm trying to figure out what gross would be and then what her hourly rate would be based on a 40 hours a week, a full-time job. Think y'all have
Yes,
some kind of
so,
reverse calculator that you've helped
yes,
me
Your
with.
Honor, I can do that.
And I
So
think
our
the
investigation,
investigation report does say that's net, so then you have to
Yeah.
figure out the gross and then figure out the hourly rate.
yes, Your Honor, the investigation report says a gross figure of $1,810.67.
Wait, are you sure it says gross? Because I thought I read it and it says net.
It has both numbers, Your Honor.
Oh, I was just looking at one. Let me, oh, so then let's see. My review average monthly gross is 18 and the net is 15. Okay, I was just looking at the 18 and then I saw the part that says net. Okay, my mistake. So 1810 is the gross? And can you,
Yes, Your Honor, but I can calculate
figure out
that.
the hourly rate for that?
Yes, of course.
So I'm aware
So
what she's doing now.
1810.67 per month for gross times 12 months in a year gets the annual amount, divide by 52 weeks in a year to get the amount per week. Assuming 40 hours a week, divide by 40, would suggest something like $10.446 an hour.
Well, just to round up like 10.50 an hour roughly.
$11 an hour.
Oh, well, no, I'm saying, you said $10.4446.
Yes, Your Honor.
So instead of rounding all the way up, I'm just rounding to 10.50 an hour. That'd be closer to the hourly wage based on that gross.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to get her wages not to up or down them right now, but okay. Then I don't need to.
Your Honor, may I retrieve a charger for my device?
Well, so I don't lose you, I guess I have to let you go. Yes, sir. We need you, Mr. Eslif, so yeah.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And before we go up further on that, I did get the email. Let me double check while I'm thinking about it. About service and notice. The officer's return on, where is it? On Caitlin Marie Wilhelm does state that it was executed May 6th of 2025 with a citation and together with a petition on her in person in Kyle, Texas. So she was served May 5th. That document is file marked by the district clerk's office on May 6th. Okay, so we've got actual citation return, serviced and file date. Then on the other rest of it, the notice of this hearing. Let me check that one. It is file marked, although that's not what I'm looking at for that. The notice of court proceeding virtual was noticed on her for today's date, September 11, 2025 at 8:30. So right date, right time, and right Zoom ID. I'm comparing it to the one we're on. And yes, all of it's correct. And it tells her how to log on with what link and phone numbers. Okay, so you got service and notice. So yes, we have the basis for the default. I'll take judicial notice of that. Now let's get back to the money. So 1050 is what you think you show for the investigation report. Okay. And y'all don't know, or you don't know individually, Mr. Steve, having looked at the file, what she does for a living at whatever job that was reported.
I can identify the name of the company, the
You have to tell me the
organization.
name, but so what kind of business is it, or can you tell?
It's healthcare, Your Honor.
It is healthcare. Okay, but you no way of knowing that it's a surgical tech or anything else in the healthcare field.
It appears to be elder care planning.
Okay. I'm surprised you can tell all that because usually you can't. So,
I did a rudimentary search of the name.
okay, then that sounds good. Thank you. Well, I know different parts of the country pay different wages and there's different costs of living, and I'm not saying it's cheap down here at all, but it's definitely less expensive than the East Coast, I presume. Would that be true, Mr. Wilhelm, or you don't know?
I don't know. I feel it's pretty expensive.
Well, it depends on the big city versus not, but just generally
I don't
speaking,
know.
the regions, but okay.
I mean, I pay $1,000 a month for rent for a 2-bedroom apartment, so I don't know.
Right now, for
Yeah.
where I'm at, that sounds cheap. But, or at least less than what they charge here. But she may not be in the city I'm in, so. Okay,
No, she's in Hayes County or Kyle, Texas. She's in.
yeah, that's where it shows she was served. Okay, well, as far as you know, she made $19 an hour tops when you were aware of it. And she's claiming at least $10.50 an hour now, or the state has found income within that range. Okay.
Which I know, like I said, I mean, obviously I don't know the hourly rate, but I know, and obviously I don't know what you guys paid on either. But when we had our court order, she said she was working for a school, but obviously I don't know what school, what she was doing. And I know that the gentleman said that she had recently just started this new job. So I mean, obviously I don't know the rate she was making before, but I'm like, did she just get a job that was lower paying because she knew she was gonna have to pay child support?
Well, sometimes you can make
You
assumptions.
can
and
assume,
sometimes you
right?
can't.
Right,
But
right,
she's not
exactly.
here to tell me, and maybe it's her interest not to be here. However, she should have showed up if she wanted any,
I mean, yeah.
if she wanted to
I
improve.
wasn't. I hate to say, I wasn't surprised when she didn't show up.
But in the hearings that you had with her in your state or wherever they were held in your county, she never actually under oath said a monthly wage, an hourly wage, an annual wage. That never came up.
No, because money was never discussed in
I
those
know, but
things.
trying to support a child, if you're trying to get the child, you'd want to assert that you're doing well and what you're doing.
Well, so her assertiveness was the fact that my parents are moving down here. My parents just bought this $400,000 house in this housing plan that I'm going to live with, which, if needed to be, I could provide the stuff from previous court cases showing that her parents own the house that she lives at. So, but yeah, no numbers of that were discussed, but it was just presented like, oh, I can provide a better life because my parents are here, and oh, her family's here, so that's enough. Unfortunately.
Okay, I get it. That might have been enough. So, did you know them at all, your in-laws?
Yeah.
Do you know
Yeah.
what they do for a living or how well off they're at?
They're both retired.
And do you know they actually paid off the house or they got a mortgage like everybody else?
Well, they sold their house up here to move to the house down there. So I mean, they sold the house up here for approximately like 300,000. So I would assume anybody that does that would take that amount and put a good chunk of it towards the house. But then again, we're assuming again.
So that you said 280,000 for the house?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, that sounds low to me with this area. I mean, it was there, I understand that, but I thought
Yeah.
the
I mean,
house
like you
was
said, prices are different places and everything, but I mean, I think they were
Mhm.
trying to sell it for 350. They didn't get that. I mean, they needed some work as well, but which affects things obviously. It wasn't in the greatest neighborhood either, which obviously affects things as well.
So, but as far as you know, I mean, they might be middle class or something, they're not millionaires or anything like that.
No, they're not millionaires, but I mean, they did well for themselves.
Okay, but they're retired now, so that sometimes results in a loss of some income. Okay,
Yeah.
anything else you think you can tell me about her maybe underemployment?
I mean, just underemployed. I just feel like obviously knowledge-wise and like she's smart enough and capable of a job that involves more than what she's doing and able to make more than what she is. And I feel like obviously I feel like $1,800 a month if you were living by yourself with your kid is no way sustainable. So obviously she's getting extra help or something because correct me if I'm wrong, like there's no way that I could make it off $1,800 a month with my kid.
Oh, well, I won't tell you the kind of cases I've seen, but everybody
Well,
does what they
yeah.
have to do. Not everybody has the luxury of having regular jobs with benefits and those kind of things. What was I thinking? You said, remind me, she has another child or she does not have another child?
She has another child that lives down there with her and her parents.
How old is
But
that
at the
child?
same time, that child should be turning 12 here next month. But for a whole year, that kid lived up here with her parents while she lived in Texas.
But now the child's
Okay.
with her, she's there with her parents who
Yeah,
know the child.
yeah.
Does she get child support for that child, or you have any?
Last I knew, she was getting $32 a month for him because that's what she kind of just agreed to. But she also has it to where that dad is not involved, and that's why she has a child.
You wouldn't know if he lived in Texas or what he does or anything like that.
They split obviously before we were married. I don't think he had like, I couldn't tell you what he did. I don't think he had like.
But she does have an.
You know what he had? He had a contracting business or something. So, but who knows how well that really did or whatever. So he didn't have any like actual like tax documents or whatever, I think. But
Okay.
she just agreed for it to be that.
You're sure it's $32 a month?
Trust me, I think it was something like that because she tried to take me for child support when we first split up and tried to get me for an arm and leg, which I thought was ridiculous when I was an involved father. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what it was. I might be wrong.
Okay. So you had your child half-time until she left for Jamaica, and then
Yes, ma'am.
you get the child till months later or something else?
So she asked me prior, before going to Jamaica, like, hey, because I want to sign on a passport for my daughter because I know mom wasn't like mentally stable in a sense, and I knew she would do what she did. I want to sign on a passport for my daughter to go there. So she asked if I would watch my daughter, which obviously I'm going to watch my daughter. And then they went on a trip to Jamaica, and I know from her telling me, she got in a fight with her parents in Jamaica because she wanted to stay in Jamaica and not come back to the States. And then something happened there. So instead of coming back to Pittsburgh, she went to New York and caught a plane to Texas to a man she was talking with online and has been down there ever since.
So she went without the child.
Correct.
How long did you have the child before she got the child?
She didn't get the child back until July of 2024. So pretty much a year and a month that would be. And then, like I said, she had her from July 20. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry. I'm trying. When did the parents have the child? Or that's.
They had him from pretty much that same June, but obviously she lived with them at the time as well when she lived here. They had him from June until they moved down there, and so a year. It was a year because they moved down there around June, and I wouldn't send my daughter down there until they could give me a walkthrough of this house they bought and everything.
So you had your child, and the grandparents had the other child while mom.
Correct, ma'am.
In Texas.
Yes, ma'am.
Either one for about a year or more than.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, got it. Okay. Anything else you think you need to tell me, sir? That you weren't asked? That might be relevant in the financial issue.
No, I think we've kind of hit it all in a sense.
Except that you said, or let me make sure I remember what you said. She hasn't contributed one penny to.
Correct. Yeah, she hasn't contributed anything since she left for Texas. Nothing. Nothing at all.
Bought the child Christmas
presents,
birthday presents, any of that?
One time Christmas presents, which I can have my assumption on that, but I think they were from her parents, but we can say they're from her, but one time, some presents.
But not money and
nothing for birthday, nothing. Well, because when she first did that thing to Texas, she was like, oh, hey, you need me to get her any clothes? And I was like, yeah, you know what she wants? She really wants a pair of light up shoes. Like, you can send her some light up shoes and some girl clothes. Since you're a girl, you obviously can pick clothes better than me. And she's like, oh, yeah, I'll send you those, and never sent them. And that's my whole thing is like, this whole thing could have been cordial. Like, I would have been like, all right, just send this a month and we're good. But obviously things happen, and that's not what happened.
Okay.
But yeah, it's just a shame.
Okay, then, Ms. Joseph, did you have any follow-up from Mr. Wilhelm?
No further questions, Your Honor. I would like the court to take judicial notice of one more thing.
What?
If you review our pleadings, Your Honor, attached to the pleading on the final page, it's correspondence from the state of Pennsylvania informing us that there has been a finding of family violence. So I just thought I would direct that to the court's attention.
You know, I heard you make these allegations, but I never heard the particulars, like the exact threats, the exact violence, other than they were alleging you committed sexual violence, but not that. I'm talking about between you two as adults, family violence.
No, I mean, no, there was never any violence in that
Okay.
sense.
But
But
what
she
about
just,
the threats? What
the-
kind of threats? What would these?
I
what would she
want to
do?
call them this. There was only like the threat really was when I went to pick up my daughter, but they weren't really threats. They were more verbal harassment and just
Okay, then
naming
what
and
kind of
calling me all
verbal
kind of
harassment?
stuff,
Tell me exactly what the verbal harassment was.
calling me a B word, calling me a pedophile, calling me all those things for things that happened down there. Going along with that conceived plan of saying I did this stuff to my daughter. And when obviously cutting off communication between me and my daughter, which I feel like is not right. Obviously, when I have a court order able to talk to my daughter, you cut that off for your own well-being. Having my daughter questioning like, "Where's my dad?" or everything. Somebody that I've been with consistently for over a year, and just the continued harassment. Her parents would call me things as well, which was completely uncalled for.
Even if they called you names, in what form did they do it?
Well, through text messaging, and then I have a voicemail. I don't think I have it on my newer phone, but her mom would leave me a voicemail because my daughter was originally supposed to go down there in May, but since they never did the court-ordered video walkthrough of the house, I didn't send my daughter and told them that my daughter wasn't going. And they calling me the B word and all kind of things as well. Calling me a punk ass B, saying I wasn't a man, this, that, and the third, and all kind of things in that relation.
Were you in fear for
anything to kind of question my
safety?
character as well? Go ahead.
I get that that's not the right thing to do. I get that's not the civil thing to do. I get that it shouldn't be doing between co-parents or parents that were co-parenting. But I'm asking, were you in fear of your life or your fear of your safety?
I was in fear when I went to Texas and her dad and boyfriend show up kind of getting out there trying to fight me.
So how do you communicate if she were to want to exercise her visits, no matter how limited and supervised and all that? How would she communicate that with you?
We have the parenting app.
Which app is it?
I forget what it's called. App something.
App Close?
I think that's what it is, yes.
Are you
But once
using
again,
it?
though, go ahead.
Are you using it? Are you communicating about anything on that?
No, because there's nothing to communicate about when you're not seeking to communicate.
Well, I'm saying, how would she communicate with you if she wants to exercise her limited right of visitation?
For the past year, it's either app close or through text message or anything, which she hasn't done.
So she has your phone number
Yes, ma'am.
and she has your email address?
She should through all the previous court things, yes. But my understanding was the thing was more so if I were to move or anything of that nature
Yeah.
for my address or anything like that.
Well, I get that you don't want her showing up at your house and visitation shouldn't be occurring and pick up and drop outs at your residence. I get all that. But I still have to consider a way of, she has rights too. I can't just make you disappear off the planet. I mean, how would she?
No, I'm not saying that, but I'm also saying like the app closes, I feel is since that was court ordered to be the thing of communication, I feel like that is enough. But on top of it as well, you're not communicating for over a year now for any access to your daughter, I think is just completely obviously ridiculous and shows no care or emotion for your daughter.
It doesn't automatically renege her right to visitation just because she hasn't done it. She still has that right by court order. So I'm trying to figure out.
I mean, that's fine. She can have my number, whatever. I mean, that's fine. I don't care.
Okay, the phone.
I mean, because obviously it doesn't matter.
Well, I get that you don't want her showing up at your address and you've had some bad blood, but with her parents, but I still have to figure all the details out, Mr.
No, I understand. I'm sorry, but it's just like frustrating because I feel like nothing.
You
never mind.
haven't terminated her rights. If you want to do that, that's.
No,
all-
because as I said throughout the whole thing, prior to the prior years, I've been trying to have mom involved. I was the one pushing for her to have the visitation and everything. Well, and we could still obviously have a visitation thing, but she ruined that when she did what she did in Texas and made those allegations and made me have to call the police and not be civil. Up until there, I was trying to be civil and have mom involved, trying to find a way for mom to be involved. I'm not the one that wanted this situation, Your Honor. You know, I didn't create this situation. But at the same time, I'm going to stand by my daughter and protect my daughter.
I get it, Mr. Wilhelm. I'm just trying to do my job. I'm not trying to rally
I
you.
understand.
I'm trying to
I
make it
understand.
worse between y'all, but I want to tell you, this isn't a termination, and I don't even have any business having to do with the visitation and custody
Yeah.
and that other order, but if you tell me there is
Yeah.
one, then there has to be a way of communication. I get that app close
Yeah.
and the phone number and the email would be sufficient, even if I don't allow the disclosure of your residence or employment address. That's what I'm trying to resolve. So thank you for your help with that. But I'm not trying to get in a fight with you or oppose you or
Oh,
anything.
no,
I'm
no,
not
no, no,
calling
no,
you
no, no, no,
anything.
no, no.
I'm not trying to say you've been bad and you've cut her off and you didn't allow. I get that you did try. That's healthy. That's great. However, yeah, they have to walk through the door. You can't make them. So that's
No,
fine.
exactly.
Okay. What else? I think that was all that the last few things I needed. Other than, I think you've already explained how you got to the numbers you did, but
I mean, obviously, I'm flexible with working that number down. I mean, I'd be
Well,
fine with.
go
I mean,
ahead.
I know you have to base off what she makes, but I'd be fine with her just flat out 500 a month, and that accounts for the child cares in that, the retroactives in that, everything else is in that at 500 a month, which I feel is reasonable.
Okay, well, now we're talking because you were asking for 688 plus
No, well, and I told him
15,000
as well
plus.
that I was willing to
Oh.
negotiate. Like, obviously, you start high and work your way down. I'm willing, I'm flexible, I'm gracious, you know what I mean? I'm
Mr.
a humble
Wilhelm,
person,
you're
I'm
not
willing to work.
negotiating with me because I'm not the
No,
party. I get
but
to
I'm
hear
negotiating
you
on
over
behalf
there,
of my daughter
and I
and
get
what I
the
feel like she's
rules,
worthy of.
and I get what you're coming from, but I also have to do my job because one of the
No,
things
no, I get that.
one of the
I
things I have to
understand.
look at is, well, states are alleging her actual income, which is on the
Yeah.
low side. I get that, but there's such a thing for retroactive support. It's not like mandatory. It's discretionary with the court. I hear the facts. I think there should be something, but if I set it so high, it could be a hardship on people.
No, I get that. Then
And,
that's why I'm obviously
okay.
flexible and willing to talk about and discuss something to kind
Okay,
of get
well,
it to
now's
where it's
your
reasonable.
last chance to tell me. I think you told me now, you're talking about 500 total, which would mean child support that includes childcare and some back pay toward the retro. Is that what I heard
Yeah,
you
yeah,
saying?
it would all be in that, or we can even 450, 500, and that includes everything. So
Okay.
that's not obviously 500 a month for childcare, and then let's retroactive for that. No, it's 500, and that can include, well, whatever the retro amount would be for those years based off of a determination of what it could be.
Well, yeah, I just think that anybody, including most lawyers and judges, they don't have a debt one day and then somebody throws us $16,000, $60,000 debt in court. That's gonna probably, and you're not asking for that much, but 16,000 still for the regular folk. Man making 1,800 a month might cause some hardship, even if she doesn't pay
Yeah.
rent because of her parents. So is there a number that you're not looking at for the retroactive, the full amount for the, how many months are we talking about, Mr. Asif? 2 years, or was it less or more? Or?
I think it was
So the
28
retroactive
months.
support, yes, 28.
Say that again? What, yes, what? 24 months, or was it?
28 months representing the period of
20
time
months.
between June of 2023 to September of 2025.
Okay, 20 months. Do you agree with that number, Mr. Wilhelm, the months, 20 months?
Yes,
For the
ma'am.
time period. Okay, I don't want to have to.
28 months, yeah.
Okay, and now you said 28. Did I hear 28, Mr. Asif, or I hear 20? I didn't hear you.
I said 28, Your
Oh,
Honor.
then I'll blame it on my hearing, but 28 months. I heard 20. Okay. Okay. Then let me figure this out. So is there a total number of retroactive for that 28 months that you'd be willing to consider that's short of 16,200, Mr. Wilhelm? Let's see, 28 months. Are you thinking?
Well, what's the, I'm sorry, but what's the 16,000? Is that the number that we had came up with originally? Right, when we
The
first came
number
in here,
that
right?
They said you were requesting.
Yeah,
for
no, the
back pay.
16,000, that was based off of the 131 retroactive with the 450 monthly payment. But I'm willing to, like I said, like 450, 500 a month, and that negates any retro, like everything's included in that number.
Well, I know, but if whatever number I use, I multiply it times 28 months, it might be less, it might be more, I don't know. So I'm asking you, what is it you're requesting?
I mean, I guess, so for
16,000?
no, not the 16,000 in that case.
16,200 divided by 28 months, you pretty much did 578.57 a month. Okay, so you take a different position, or are you gonna let me decide?
I'm confused on what number you just, I'm gonna apologize. What number did you just, is that 570 you said a month?
You said you wanted, AG said you wanted $16,200 for the time period that we talked about, 28 months for back pay.
Yeah,
So if I divide
which
the
was,
amount by 28 months, I get like $578 roughly, 57 cents. So I'm
yeah, because the
asking,
16,000 was the 450 I was asking for the monthly with the child care and the retroactive, as I believe what that was. But if we just did it to where it was like 400 a month,
400 a month
she
times
paid.
28 months would be 11,200. You'd be okay with that?
Yeah,
Okay. And then, which means you're telling me 400 a month child support would serve your purposes with, how much was the medical support the state's asking for? I forgot already.
Yes, Your Honor, it's $81 per month.
81
Yes, Your Honor.
with, and if I lower it to 11,000 in retro, what is it that you would recommend for the payout amount, Mr. Asif?
$11,000 in retroactive child support. The minimum payment I can calculate that would keep Ms. Wilhelm above the interest rate of 6% is $105 per month.
So that would be your 400 child support, 105 arrears payment, plus she still has to pay 81 medical, so it's still more than 500. It's close to 6. How do you feel, or what do you say about that, Mr. Wilhelm? That's 586.
well, that's what I was saying is the 500 would include already the retroactive, nothing on top of the 500 for the retroactive.
Are you getting that I have to give a judgment amount for the 28-month period, and then a payout on that based on, because there's an interest calculation, the Texas charges
Oh,
percent annual interest. So they usually get a bare minimum of $50 towards the principal and about $100, or no, and then.
so can we
plus
just
the
do
interest.
$400 a month for child support and then retroactivate the 400 per month for the 28 months?
Well, that's what we did. 400 times 28 months is 11,200.
Okay.
So, I mean, if you're trying to get her in the 500 range, I'd say it'd have to be 350 child support, 105 retroactive support, and $81. That's more like 536. Are you okay with that?
So that means like kind of 450 a month would go towards my daughter, and the rest, that 80 whatever,
So you get
goes
all of
to
it
the.
except the 81. If it's
That's what I'm
just,
saying. So like 450 a month, then I'm fine with that if I get 450 a month for my daughter.
so you'd be getting 350 plus
350
105.
plus the, yeah. Yes,
That's
ma'am.
455.
Yes, ma'am.
You're okay with that?
Yeah.
And that would be a variance from the, well, I haven't heard your closing, Mr. Let's see if you want to go through it and revise it, or keep it the same, and then I'll revise it for everybody.
No, Your Honor, the state's requested relief is still the same as expressed in my opening statement. The only thing I would add is based on the facts testified to by Mr. Wilhelm regarding the sexual assault on his daughter by her brother-in-law, I would strongly recommend the granting his request for confidentiality and allow them to communicate via app close. I'm very concerned about that incident.
Okay. But you're sticking with your $274.11 a month, child support?
That's the guideline amount I've calculated, Your Honor. Should this
Based
court
on
grant an
the-
upwards deviation, then that would be the court's ruling.
Yes, correct. And then, you don't take a real position on retroactive. You just told me what the numbers were, and Mr. Wilhelm has now revised them a little bit. You wouldn't have any reason to dispute.
Yes, Your Honor. So I've calculated the 5,683.44 in guideline amount. But yeah, Mr. Wilhelm has made his request for an upward deviation, and it's up to you, Your Honor, whether or not you wish to grant it.
Oh, you're talking about the minimum wage presumption for the
Yes, Your Honor.
retroactive for 28 months?
Yes, Your Honor. The minimum amount I've calculated for the retro, or the guideline amount, I should say, I calculated at $5,683.44.
And you do, but at 28 months, you're calculating it at like $203 a month. Roughly.
Roughly 202.98, but yes, 203.
Yeah, I got that, but I round things up and down. Okay. Yeah, you got to calculate, or I got to think about the 6% annual interest if it takes her a while to pay it off. She'll be paying you interest on top of that, at least in Texas. Okay. So did you finish your closing, Mr. Hassif?
Yes, Your Honor. Like I said, the state positions are the same as they were in my opening statement.
So for my
So-
benefit, it's $274.11 for child support, $81 for medical support, and a retroactive judgment of $5,683.44 for the 28-month period of retroactive, with an $80 payment on that. That was your original, as you're sticking to that?
Yes, Your Honor. That and also the non-disclosure finding for Mr. Wilhelm and the court costs that we'd like assessed against Ms. Wilhelm.
I got that already. Okay. So you have anything else to say in the way of a closing, Mr. Wilhelm?
No, not really. I think I've kind of shared what I wanted to share.
Then having heard the evidence on the financial issues, which is all I can do on the UFSA case, is grant. I will deviate from the guideline child support based on her current income, make a finding of underemployment based on her surgical tech, I don't know what to call it, degree, certificate, what is it that she actually got? Diploma?
I think it would be more so like a degree or certificate, kind of saying obviously you're capable and able to do this job. You've went through the proper schooling to assist a surgeon in surgery.
Okay.
You know.
Finding of underemployment based on her education in a surgical tech program. And I didn't do the math on the $19 or $20. I don't really want to do the math, but if I order child support at $350 a month, Mr. Asif, can you tell me what that would yield in terms of hourly wages? Because I'm not varying by that much, $275 to $350. It's just about $75, but can you figure out for me what the wage would be for $350 a month?
Yes, Your Honor. Just give me a couple minutes to crunch the numbers.
Sure.
Okay, so based on a ruling of guideline support at $350, I've calculated the net income at $1,997.19 per month, the gross at $2,375 per month, and you take the gross and determine the hourly wage. That comes out to $13.70 an hour, Your Honor.
Okay. If you put all that in the findings, not just the gross or the net, but the hourly as well, so that'll help if there's any further action or future modifications.
Okay, so for the finding for the gross, Your Honor, would you like me to use the numbers from the investigative report and then just say there was an upward deviation
The court
Uh,
finds underemployment and that deviates from the, there's a variance from the guideline amount based on the finding that, the underemployment is, that I should be setting child support based on her education in a surgical tech program, and then make the findings that I'm making right now
Yes.
for you, that you just calculated for me,
okay.
these new
So
numbers.
just to clarify, okay, just to clarify, Your Honor, are you asking me to include the gross, net, and hourly wage based on the $350 per
Yes,
month child support?
because if I hear this as a motion for new trial, or a district judge hears this on de novo or modification or anything else, I want them to know exactly what I did, how I got there, and why I got there. So there's no
Yes, Your Honor.
guessing involved. So yes, down to the
Yes, sir.
salary, the gross, the net, and the basis for it is her education in that program. And then that'll yield these numbers. And I can support my ruling without
Yes.
anybody having to guess at it. And me, if I hear it again in 3 years or however long to come back, so I'll remember what we did. Okay, given that, and I was gonna do one last little quick calculation. The June 2023, so in 2023, there was what, 7 months of retro, 2024, 12 months, and 2025, 9 months. I do get the same 28 months, okay. So this is my ruling on this UFO request for support, child support, and I'm not gonna repeat all that stuff we just talked about, but I do want it in the order. So the child support is now the variance of $350 a month, starting October 1st. And I assume, because we've been talking about the CHIP program, that the order will say fathers to continue the government assistance program. Mr. Asif, that's what you intended in there?
Well, that's what I'm requesting. If that's what you're ruling, then I'll include that,
Yes.
yes.
I'm trying to remember, CHIP is still part of the government program where y'all still can collect the
Yes, Your Honor.
medical,
Yes.
okay. Then the medical support will be $81 a month that you requested starting October 1. And the father to provide the government program for insurance, retroactive child support judgment of $11,000 for that 28th month period from June 2023 to September 11, 2025, payable at $105 a month starting October 1st. On the issue of non-disclosure, I will grant it for the father's information with the exception of the cell phone and email address for communication purposes, and also include app close as another form of communication. On the issue of court costs, I'm gonna waive them. It doesn't affect you, sir, and it's not that much, Mr. Mazzie. If you can appeal me if you want. I'm waiving court costs. I pick and choose them, and this one, I need her to pay his support, not the court costs on first. Okay, I think I covered everything. Is that correct, Mr. Mazzie?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand all that, Mr. Wilhelm?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, I did.
You have
Thank
any
you.
questions or concerns?
No, ma'am.
Then that'll be the ruling of the court. By default, it gets Ms. Wilhelm. I will render the order, so now it is my order. I ruled on it anyway. It is my order, so the state's gonna draft it. They're gonna send you a courtesy copy to review and sign electronically. If you see any questions, concerns, problems, you call the state to resolve them. You cannot call me. I will not answer. I can't talk to you.
Are you sure?
I'm positive. I don't answer the phone. I don't have to. That's what my coordinator's here for. So you can't
Yeah.
communicate with me, but you call the state if you see a problem or have a question, you resolve it with them. I usually give it about a 1-week timeline. So by next Thursday, if they haven't heard from you and you haven't signed the order, I ask them to turn it in the order without your signature, because now it's my order. Since I've rendered the order, I sign it with or without you. You sign it first,
Yes,
I get
ma'am.
quicker. You don't sign it, I get it in about a week without your signature, and I'll sign it that way anyway.
No,
does
trust
that
me,
make
I'll
sense?
sign it.
Is that pretty clear, Mr. Wilhelm? Do you have any questions about that process?
No, Your Honor, sounds pretty straightforward.
Okay, they have your email address, so they'll send it there. So that's your priority homework to review your emails. Hopefully it's not a full mailbox or anything, and that anything coming from the Texas Office of the Attorney General is this proposed order. So I'll ask you to prioritize that to get it done. Review, it might be 20 pages or so. Doesn't have all the other custody stuff, visitation stuff, so it shouldn't be 35. However, I did want real specifically, Mr. Asif, those specific findings in there. So she knows what I did, and anybody else in the future having to review this case or modify this case will know what I did. Then that'll be the ruling of the court. If there's nothing further, I'm happy to end this hearing and release Mr. Wilhelm. You don't need him any further, Mr. Asif?
No, Your Honor.
Then thank you, sir. Good luck to you and your daughter and everything else. You just want to click the end meeting button and start checking your emails. It might be too soon after 5, but maybe hopefully by tomorrow or no later than tomorrow. Okay.
Alrighty, thank you very much, Your Honor. I appreciate your
Thank
time
you.
and everything.
Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Thank
You have a
for
great rest of
being
your day.
here 3/4 of the day.
Of course,
2/3.
yeah. Hey, whatever I got to do for my kid. Appreciate you
Got it.
again. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
You have a great one.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.